I lived close to my husband, who I loved very much, but my mother-in-law, Kim, wasn't kind to me. She was really mean. My husband, Rhett, and his family didn't like her either. When Rhett and I first started dating, I was too scared to ask him why he didn't like his mom. He didn't want to talk about it at first, but when he did, he told me, "My mom isn't a good person. I know you see good in everyone, but my mom is mostly bad." Why do you think that, Rhett? Did something bad happen? Yeah, a lot of things happened. She's greedy and only thinks about herself. Her spending caused my parents to get divorced. And she even got credit cards in mine and my sister's names when we were kids. My dad had to pay off all those debts to fix our credit. Oh my goodness, Kim never paid them back. But she lives in such a fancy house and spends a lot of money. That house was supposed to be my dad's. Mom threatened to stop us from seeing Dad if he didn't give her the house. The money she has actually comes from child support payments from Dad. She hardly used them for us. The way Kim treated Rhett and his sister Rosie was really awful. It's hard for me to even think about without getting upset. It completely changed how I saw Kim. After meeting George, Rhett's dad, it was clear that Kim was the real problem. She took advantage of George and his money. It was really sad. I didn't see or deal with Kim much before Rhett, and I got married because they didn't have a close relationship. But after we got married, I saw firsthand what she was like. Kim was always asking Rhett for money. She'd manipulate and guilt-trip him into giving her money. Because of this, Rhett could hardly save any money for himself. Things got even worse when we decided to buy a house. None of us could afford to buy it outright, but we saved up enough money for the down payment. It was our dream home, and we loved it, but Kim just got greedier. She even came to our house and said, "Wow, nice house you have here. Did you manage to get my son to pay for it? This house is huge. We're both contributing to paying for this house, Kim, and really it's none of your concern who owns it." Well, it's my concern if my son is involved. What's his mind too? And speaking of him, I need him to send me some money. We're struggling at home. What? Are you serious? We sent you $2,000 this month. What happened to that money? What I do with the money isn't your concern. Just tell him to send it through Venmo, and make sure he's more generous this time. That was her attitude every time I dealt with her. She acted like she deserved everything and didn't care about anyone else. She even took money from Rosie and George every month, despite having a part-time job. I doubt it even covered her expensive Starbucks habit. Her lavish lifestyle was funded by others, but I didn't feel the impact because Rhett took care of everything. Little did I know, things would soon take a turn for the worse. You see, about 2 years after we got married, Rhett passed away unexpectedly from a rare illness. It was a shock, and we didn't have time to prepare. I was devastated and felt like giving up. Rhett was my soulmate, and I couldn't imagine life without him. Rosie and George were there for me during this difficult time. They helped me cope while they mourned Rhett too. It brought us closer together, but Kim didn't seem affected at all. She barely shed a tear at the funeral and never reached out to me or helped with the arrangements. Kim seemed more focused on her own agenda. Right after the funeral, she said, "Now that the funeral's done, let's discuss Rhett's will." What do you mean? Have some decency, Kim. You just lost your son and all you care about is his will. Don't lecture me. I need to know what I'm getting from his belongings. You're not getting anything. How could you expect to when you've been nothing but a terrible mother to him? That can't be true. I'll sue you if you don't give me my share. Most of his money went towards his medical bills. Plus, he gave you a lot of money every month, leaving him with hardly any savings. You've got some nerve to ask for more after everything. He's the one who paid for the house you live in. I know that. I want my share of it. It can't all be yours. The house belongs to me, and there's nothing you can do to change that. You better keep your distance. Rhett put up with you, but I won't. I'll make sure I get what's fair. You'll hear from me. With that, Kim stormed off. I couldn't believe what had just happened. It only made me sadder to see how little Rhett's mother cared about his passing. I broke down again, knowing there was more bad news to come. When I got home after the funeral, I noticed that someone had been in the house. I panicked and checked all my belongings. It turned out that most of Rhett's things were missing. I couldn't even find his wedding ring, the one he gave back to me so I could keep it as a memory of him. Now it was gone from the house. Even our wedding album was missing. I was on the brink of another breakdown, and I had no idea who could have done this. It had to be someone close to us. A thief would have taken much more. In my mind, there was only one person who could have done this. At that moment, I received a call from Kim. She said, "Now that you've had some time to think, I'll give you a chance. Sign over your share of the house." "How can you still be doing this, Kim? That's never going to happen." "You're still being stubborn, I see. Here's the deal, Naomi. I have Brett's wedding ring with me, and I've also gathered all his childhood belongings along with your wedding album from the house." "What? How is that even possible?" "It was simple to make a spare key from Rhett's house keys. I slipped in while you were occupied with the casket. It's quite a pity, isn't it? You'll hand those items back over, Kim. I'll inform the police." "Yes, you could do that. But I'd destroy them before the police arrive. They might catch me, but you'll never see your precious items again." "What do you want?" "Sign over the house, Naomi. I want the entire house. Since you've been so cheeky with me, I'll give you back the items as soon as you sign the papers." And with that, she hung up on me. I was left in disbelief. I didn't know what to do. Kim had taken all the precious things I had left of Rhett. I wanted them back desperately. The house meant little to me. But the more I thought about her actions, the angrier I became. I couldn't let her win. Not after everything she'd done to Rhett and now to me. I immediately called George and Rosie to the house. I explained everything Kim had said and done. They were shocked and disgusted by her behavior. Rosie said, "I'm ashamed that I'm related to someone like her. My son isn't even laid to rest yet, and she's already up to her old tricks. How can she be so heartless? This is unforgivable. I'm going to her house right now and confront her." "You're not signing away the house. You and Rhett made so many memories here. I won't stand for this." "No, Rosie. If we confront her, Kim might destroy the items. I need them back safe and sound. I'll call her and pretend to agree to sign over the house. She won't suspect a thing. But you can't actually do it. It's crazy. Please, Naomi, don't give in to her evil schemes." "Don't worry, guys. I won't let her win. I had a plan. Kim had caused so much harm in our lives, and it was time to make her face the consequences. She disrespected Rhett's memory and tried to take my house. I wasn't going to let her get away with it easily. I shared my plan with George and Rosie, and they agreed to help me. So I called Kim and told her to get the papers ready. I pretended to be ready to sign over the house to her. Kim was thrilled at my apparent surrender. She said the papers would be ready soon. The nerve of this woman was unbelievable. A week later, Kim called me to sign the papers. I went through them carefully and then handed her some additional papers prepared by my lawyer. I told her to sign them. "I've already signed the property papers and processed them," I said. "Here's the legal document stating that you've accepted the gift." "Oh, do I need to sign this? I can't wait. Just tell me what to do." "You just need to sign these papers, that's all." "There, I've signed these papers and accepted your gift. So I hope you can move out of the house this month. I'll slowly start shifting there. I need to make a lot of redecorations, so make it quick." "Don't worry, Kim, you have exactly a month to move into your new house. There won't be any issues. See, it wasn't so difficult, was it? You get what you wanted, and I get what I wanted." Kim was foolish enough to believe I'd just sign away the house. Well, it turns out she was the foolish one. What Kim didn't realize was that I had swapped the papers. I put my signature on a fake document filled with nonsense. She never bothered to read the papers she signed. Kim thought she was signing to accept the house as a gift. She's going to be in for a surprise when she finds out how wrong she was. Kim was in for a huge shock. Being her foolish and overly confident self, she decided to throw a lavish party. Apparently, she spent most of her savings on it. I suppose she assumed everyone would keep funding her extravagant lifestyle. She even called me and said, "Hey, Naomi, I'm hosting a big party this weekend. You know, your little gift has made my life. So I'm going to invite everyone to share the good news. I want you there when I announce my new house. I'm genuinely happy for you, Kim. I must express my gratitude for returning the items unharmed. You know how much they meant to me. I'll be there to show my appreciation." That's fantastic. I can't wait to brag about the house to everyone. They'll be green with envy. I'm sure they'll be incredibly envious. In my mind, I was laughing uncontrollably. I was getting closer to getting my revenge. Kim used my late husband's memory as leverage to try to take my house. I'll never forgive her for that. I silently prayed to my husband's soul for strength and support in seeking justice. I knew he would be on my side, relishing the idea of setting things right. On the day of the party, I felt a bit nervous, but Rosie reassured me, saying, "Don't worry, Naomi. We're here for you. It's time Mom faces the consequences of her actions." I can't wait to see the look on her face. I know Rosie. She's had this coming for a long time. I just hope everyone sees her for who she really is. Everyone will be on your side once they hear the whole story. You're incredibly brave, Naomi. My brother would be so proud of you. Rosie's words filled me with courage. I felt confident and prepared to face whatever came my way. When we arrived at the party, Kim had indeed thrown a grand affair, as she promised. It was evident as she was ecstatic about her new house and wanted to celebrate it in style. I couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement as I took in all the festivities. Many familiar faces filled the room, and I was glad to be surrounded by friends. The real spectacle began when Kim stood up to make a toast. Everyone was curious about the reason behind such an extravagant party, so they eagerly awaited her announcement. Kim said, "Thank you all for being here. Today is a special day for me, and I wanted to share it with my loved ones. Recently, I achieved a lifelong dream, so this party is a celebration of my accomplishment." Kim, why don't you just come out with it? I'm sure everyone's curious about why we're all gathered here. Of course I'll share, Naomi. It's only fair to let them in on the excitement. Everyone, I've been given my dream home by Naomi. She generously gifted me her old house. I'm absolutely thrilled. She made a huge sacrifice, and I'm so grateful to her. Thank you for what, Kim? For falling for your scheme and signing away my house? Well, you're in for a surprise. Let me tell you. What do you mean? I tricked you all. None of that happened. Everyone, I'm here to reveal the truth. Kim kept some valuable possessions of my late husband and forced me to sign over the house. She blackmailed me, threatening to destroy those items and make me suffer. Kim planned everything from the moment my late husband passed away. There was a collective gasp from the crowd as they exchanged shocked whispers. I turned to look at Kim, who appeared visibly nervous. She stuttered, No, Naomi is just joking. None of that happened. She couldn't handle the upkeep of such a large house, and the mortgage was too much for her, so she decided to sign it over to me. It's not true at all. Rosie and George know the truth. They'll vouch for me. Naomi is telling the truth, Kim. You tried to blackmail her into signing away the house. Rosie and I tried to intervene, but you didn't listen to any of us. Yes, that's correct. You need to stop lying to everyone. All of you acted in my best interest, Kim. I deserve the house too. After all, my son contributed to it as well. That house should rightfully belong to me. Naomi was foolish to give it up for a few sentimental items. Are you that naive, Kim? Did you honestly believe I would sign over my house to you? The room fell silent, and even Kim appeared stunned by my words. George and Rosie exchanged amused glances in the background. What do you mean, Naomi? Kim stammered. You should have taken the time to read the papers before signing, Kim. You should have even consulted a lawyer before putting your signature on anything. I swapped the papers you signed. Here, take a look at what they actually say. Wait, this says I've signed over my house to you. How is this possible? I had a lawyer prepare the papers. No, this is fake. Can't you see? This isn't my signature. Kim, it seems like your own scheming has backfired on you. Technically, your house now belongs to me, while my house thankfully still remains in my name. Here's your eviction notice. Your house now belongs to me, and I want you out within a month. And don't even think about asking us for money. We're done with you too. You won't get a penny from us. You should be ashamed of yourself. If you have any decency left, you won't set foot near my door again. No, this can't be happening. You can't do this. Oh my God. Before she could finish her sentence, Kim simply fainted. I was sorely tempted to laugh at the scene. No one rushed to help Kim. Instead, they threw disgusted looks her way. Some even left the party after offering me words of support. Nobody defended Kim because they knew exactly the kind of person she was. It was George who called 911 and requested an ambulance. Kim was taken to the hospital for evaluation. Meanwhile, I stayed at the party with Rosie and enjoyed myself. Everyone there criticized Kim as they never liked her manipulative ways. This time, they were glad to see someone stand up to her. The next day, I received numerous calls from Kim. She begged me to cancel the agreement and give her the house back. She even threatened legal action. I simply reminded her that she had signed the papers willingly and there was nothing she could do. I also warned her that I could legally evict her from the house after a month. Despite her pleas, I stood firm. Before the month was up, I found a perfect buyer for Kim's home. They were a young couple who reminded me a lot of myself and my late husband. So I accepted their offer and sold the house for a good price. Kim lashed out at me when she found out, but quickly backed off when I threatened to involve the police for harassment. Without the financial means to handle legal troubles, she fell silent. Later, Jordan and Rosie told me that Kim had been begging them to take her in. She was on the brink of homelessness and had no money. However, they were fed up with her toxic behavior and refused to support her again. Meanwhile, I've been gradually rebuilding my life. With the proceeds from selling Kim's house, I was able to fully pay off my own home. I even had enough left over to treat George and Rosie to a vacation. While I may not be interested in dating again, it brings me comfort to know that I can continue living in the house I shared with my late husband.